Hey guys, welcome to Oddcast. It's Joe and CN, and we don't have an intro for this, so welcome to our conversation on, I don't know, what do you call it? The versus the Hollywood bias. Boom. Insert logo
Yeah,
here.
Hollywood bias, Hollywood's take on whatever's happening in Hollywood. I mean,
You know what? I don't even
let's
think
talk
that
about Hollywood.
I don't even think that I would call it bias though. Like that's the thing. Like it's not really a bias. I think it's corporate handling.
And what we're referred to, guys, is we want to kind of discuss this whole issue. Ezra Miller, the Flash, and then of course now you have Jonathan Majors, Kang,
And it kind of goes beyond that scope. Like there's a
yeah,
couple other like big names out there, like
Johnny Depp.
yeah, it's like Johnny Depp, like right off the bat, him and Amber Heard, like right
Yeah,
off the jump, like right out the jump, like when you're like, oh, whose careers have been ruined by court cases, and then you're like, oh, those people, O.J. Simpson.
OJ. Yeah. I don't
I
want to talk about OJ. But no, yeah, guys. So basically, what's going on is that Hollywood, in my opinion, uh, and Joe, chime in whenever you want. Hollywood, in my opinion, seems to handle situations when it comes to allegations, regardless of what the allegation is, towards the actors. And I'm seeing a huge swing of different ways of how they want to handle it. I don't know if it's because of the production company. I don't know if it's I don't know why, but it's very noticeable. I mean, what do you think, Joe?
So I was gonna ask you, like, I want a little bit more like clarification, like what you mean by how they handle it, like, because I
So
think
like
I think with the two that we're talking about right now, like specifically Ezra Miller and Jonathan Majors, I think right now, this is the here and now. Just so everybody's aware, we're gonna date this a little bit. The Flash has not come out. We're a couple days away from Guardians of the Galaxy 3 coming out, so there's no telling what's gonna happen in the next coming weeks. But as of right now in the here and now, I think both studios are kind of handling it the same way. I don't I don't particularly see a big difference between the two because neither one's been dropped as far as we know by the studio. Uh,
Well,
the
nobody. So yeah, they haven't been dropped by the studio per se, but things involving their career they're being dropped from. Jonathan Majors got dropped from his management company. He got dropped from the U.S. Army advertisement, which was supposed to do millions of dollars. I'm not sure exactly how much he was supposed to get of
it
that.
it's been shelved for now,
Yeah,
pending the
it's
outcome.
been shelved because it was already aired. Like
Yeah,
I seen the trailer, I seen the ad like two or three times,
yeah.
and then got pulled. But when it comes to Ezra Miller, now I don't know if it's because he's not big name. He's only had two notable movies, and that's a Fantastic Beast series and then now The Flash. So like, but
I
you don't really
think
hear much about anybody dropping him from anything.
I don't think that they've been dropped yet from anything. I think that there were probably some pending projects that they probably got pulled from, but as far as I know, like their career isn't over, and like the studio is rebranding it as like they had a mental health crisis, and now they're seeking treatment. Like they're doing their best to pivot, which is why there's a big rumor that Gavin, I'm not going to get this guy's name right. You guys can tell me in the comments. Gavin Gustin, is that the guy who plays the Flash on the WB series?
Yeah, yeah,
There have been a
yeah.
lot of like talking points where like people think that he's going to come out of this movie as the Flash, based on the fact that people have now seen the movie, and I haven't heard that anywhere. I'm guessing that's not true.
Yeah, I haven't really heard that anywhere. But like, what bothers me though about the whole situation when it comes to the Hollywood industry, not just with the production companies or not just like Fox or whoever, but the Hollywood film industry, I think they handle these situations. In my opinion, I think it's too soon. I mean, let's go back to Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp got pulled from the Fantastic Beasts franchise. He got pulled from Disney's stuff, which mainly Pirates of the Caribbean. His whole career got halted over an allegation. Now, I understand that these companies want to try to save face as early and as soon as possible. We don't condone this and da da da. But the problem is that they haven't even been accused. Uh, what is it? Innocent until proven guilty. They haven't even been considered guilty yet, and they're already pulling the plug on shit. Let's just undo it. Let's just undo it. I don't care.
And that's why I bring up like so people say that there's a difference between Ezra and Jonathan, and that's why I'm saying like I don't see it that much yet. If anything, I think that these two are being treated a little bit more fairly, and I know that's going to cost scrolling. Like I feel like there's a lot more allegations of things against Ezra than there are Jonathan. Ezra continued to do stuff. I think that they've got like pending trials coming. Like they've got a lot of baggage, and I get that. But I think that neither one of the production companies and studios and stuff, I don't think either one of them want to be like caught with their with their pants down again, because like the last thing that Disney wants to do is create another Johnny Depp, or even worse, create another James Gunn scenario where you have like a person who's been accused of something, or there's been a call for them to like step down or get removed, and you do it, and then later it's found out that, oh well, by the way, they were innocent, and then you're left with, oh well, now they're making movies for our rival. It's not a great look, but there's no reversing that course. So I think that both of them are being treated like slowly, even down to like the Flash is coming out while there are still pending allegations, but if they're found guilty, will that mean that DC would then pull the plug? And then
No, I don't think they will. And the reason why I don't think they will is because, like I said before, and I said this on one of our other episodes, the Flash movie in this instance, people aren't going to see it for Ezra Miller, especially with the allegation that he is being looked into about. People aren't necessarily, from what I've read and done research on, they're mainly going to see it because of Michael Keaton. As a matter of fact, the new Flash trailer, which was smart on Warner Brothers' part, in my opinion, showed more. Basically, in my opinion, this was a Batman trailer with a Flash in it. I mean, I don't know, Joe, if you've seen it yet, but like,
I haven't watched it yet. I did have a discussion about it, but I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, but like, I think it was smart that Warner Brothers did that, because that's why people are going to go see it. Now, Jonathan Majors just had Creed 3 come out. It was already released before the allegations started. Obviously, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania had already came out.
So I did bring this up earlier. So I think that there's a huge pathway difference, though. So like, hear me out. We find out Ezra's guilty. They get removed from the DC projects. DC recast the Flash. Okay, there are three movies that have Ezra's Flash in them. You can leave them, get them recast. If you replace Jonathan Majors as Kang, there's no telling how many things have already been filmed with Kang, and we don't know where they're going next. So, like, you've already got Loki, the television series, and then you've got Quantumania, and we know that there's a lead-in for Loki season 2, and it's just like...
But you said it with Loki. If they were to recast Kang, it'd be stupid easy, because obviously if there's a female Loki, they can be a completely different Kang.
You're not wrong. They could do it. I'm just saying, like, you'd be hard pressed. Like, it just depends on how much they filmed and how much the studio's invested. And I think that is why Disney Marvel is moving so slowly to, like, they haven't made any kind of formal statement. They're not even commenting on things. They did pull mention of his upcoming Oscar vehicle from the, I don't even remember what convention it was that happened like a week ago. So they're making like moves behind the scenes that say that like if the allegations are proven to be true, that they can pull the plug.
Argument. That's my argument, though. Like,
well,
they're putting the cart before the horse.
I don't think they are. I think that there's a difference between playing it safe and acting too swiftly. Like, I think
his management company dropping him was too swift. It was playing it safe.
That has nothing to do with Disney Marvel, that's
Well, that's
literally
what I'm
just them.
saying.
So, but that means that they might have more cause for it. We don't know what's happening behind the scenes. Like
No, you're right. You're right.
they could there could be like multiple allegations that the publicists, remember these are the people who spin the stories. The
Hmm.
publicists are like, "Oh, we are not going to be able to spin that one. It's time to pull the plug on this." And I think that that's
Yeah,
bad
but
in terms of
if you
like
look
his
at
lawyer. That sucks. Like if you're like the lawyer,
if
like
you
we can't do this.
if you look at the allegations towards Jonathan Majors, and I'm using Jonathan Majors as an example, you already have doctors and professionals who already said that the injuries that was done on that woman, whatever injuries that she suffered, was done after the altercation with Jonathan Majors. There's even surveillance footage of the club and the elevator she got in, and she had no damage. So like, and it's already been put out there. So my thing is like this: it's Johnny Depp was is a I think Johnny Depp should have been the catalyst for Hollywood. And yeah, I know we're a lot of times we talk about production companies, but I'm talking about the engine of Hollywood itself, the the uh, the managers, the agents, advertising, promotion stuff. All these companies that envelop the film industry, they are trying to not get involved. It's kind of like the whole out of sight, out of mind thing. It's like if Johnny Depp, like I said, the allegations came out, Amber Heard put up a great act, and people believed it. So they automatically
Well,
started
okay.
like,
So don't get me wrong. Johnny Depp for sure got the raw end of that deal. Absolutely 100%. However, they were definitely in a toxic relationship. Like I only
yeah,
watched
but
parts of the
that
trial
was
and
personal though.
I was like, this relationship is toxic as hell.
Yeah,
Like neither one of them should have been with the other. It just nope, no, Like every time that more information came out, I was like, why were you two even together? What is this? Like
yeah,
um
you're at 100%
so
right,
so I just
100%
feel
right.
like I wouldn't put all the blame on her or on him. I think that they,
No,
but I
blame's
think
on
that he,
Hollywood though.
right, but
He got
it's
screwed.
absolutely. I completely agree with that. But like it comes down to this weird question, and like, and you can't help but think of like Spin City, but like, so everybody loves to see failures. Like it's just that's what's gonna sell papers. That's what's gonna sell news. Like so, people want to see people fail. I don't. I'd rather they succeed. But I'm just saying, like
Correct.
that's like negativity is what sells. So I don't I don't know at what point the studios or management companies or anything should get involved. Like, is your suggestion that they should wait until after the trial before they do anything?
Yes,
Because
that's my because like innocent until proven guilty. No, it should be heavily looked at. You like I give you a perfect example. This is kind of similar. There was a football. I saw a documentary of it a couple months ago. There was a football player for Notre Dame who was super famous. He's from Hawaii, super famous, super popular, and he had a long distance girlfriend that he never met. Come to find out, it was a guy who was catfishing him, but the guy
yeah,
actually uh, loved him, whatnot, but was catfishing him, pretending to be a girl, even to the point to where when it came to him meeting her, she upped and died, and then came back to life again. So the whole thing was is what wound up happening was because of the love story between them two that the media heard about. Once it came out that he was catfished, they automatically assumed he was involved, and then his career tanked. And then later found out he had nothing to do with it, but the damage was already done.
yeah. But I mean, but that's the way it is with any news media cycle. That's not just the famous. Like, I think the problem is that like I think that we've lost a lot of the innocent until proven guilty type of mentality.
Yes,
But
yes.
to be fair, I don't think that waiting until after a trial is necessarily the right move either. Like, let's what about Harvey Weinstein?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
But
he like there and people were talking about it like decades ago, so it was like a known thing. But there wasn't a trial until much later because it took somebody standing up and saying that that was wrong. And
Yeah,
I
I mean,
mean, don't get me
Harvey
wrong,
Weinstein, Bill
definitely
Cosby.
definitely an outlier of like what we're talking about here, but I'm just saying that like there it's weird because like you can't pin exactly when there should be a reaction. And that's why I'm saying like I think both studios right now are doing their best to balance it where it's like they don't want to completely pull the plug or hinder somebody's career and defame them, and at the same time they don't want to risk like
Right.
that they were complicit in what was happening. So I think that there's a gamble there, kind of like Jeremy Renner, right? Like he got run over by the snowplow, and then there was like a bad faith article going around that said like all this weird stuff about how it happened. But I think that like it's and then it got debunked, but it's knowing the truth and then knowing how to handle it. And right now we don't know the truth. Like, don't get me wrong. I again agree it looks far worse for Ezra than it does for Jonathan, but
Yes.
until the actual trial or court date, like, I don't know. I haven't even seen the elevator footage. Like, I haven't seen
Well,
it. I didn't watch it. I don't know. I haven't.
well,
I read up on it kind of, but like I'm not like I'm not rooting for somebody's career to end over things. But like I don't know when you should what the balance is. I think that like people post memes and stuff online about this different scenarios because
yeah.
uh, again people like to see people fail.
But this also goes back to the conversation that you, me, and Paige had multiple times when it comes to people in the entertainment industry or people who were involved in some kind of scandal or some kind of comment, whether or not you should support the work.
Hey,
Um,
I still have my bad person jar. Because I'm
yeah,
sorry, R. Kelly is really good music. I'm gonna keep listening. It just means I put
I
more money
agree.
into that jar
But
all the time.
you have hundreds, if not thousands, if not tens of thousands of people who will ban a movie, a book, a show because of what somebody said. Because oh, I'm not going to support that person. If it comes to a book, I agree. If like what's her face from the Harry Potter? What's her name?
J.K. Rowling,
Yeah, J.K.
Rowling,
Rowling's
Rowling,
Rowling. Yeah,
Rowling, whatever
I
her last name is.
agree. I agree with people when they say they don't want to support her because of the transphobic comment she's made and stuff like that. But when it comes to a movie that's based off of her work, I can't. I don't agree with not watching it, especially if it's something that I'm interested in watching, because it's other people involved. It's not just her. It's other people involved. So if Ezra Miller comes out based on the allegations, because there are a little bit crazy allegations, say it comes out and he in fact did do all those things, I'm still gonna watch The Flash. It's the people that put the work behind it. Just because he's in it doesn't mean shit,
Well,
in
and
my
that
opinion.
and there's also a big difference here. So the what you're describing is the royalties versus non-royalties clause or section. So like if I listen to Yay on Spotify, there's he's gonna get a small percentage of that. So you're putting money in their pocket. Um,
Right,
if you watch The Flash, Ezra isn't going to get more money from it unless he signed a royalty thing on the back end where they get paid for it after the fact, which I don't know
right,
if that's what's in the I don't know what's baked into their contract. So to me, if you support like a movie that has a bad person in it,
right,
like Mel Gibson, like I'm still gonna watch Lethal
right,
Weapon, but like
right. Yeah, I was gonna
he's
say I'm still
he
watching Lethal Weapon.
yeah, he's not making money off of that if I watch it now. Like that's going like because it's in my private collection. Like I have the DVD, I can watch it. He
Right,
doesn't get any of that money. I mean, technically he already got it because I have the DVD. But
right,
there's a balancing act there. But like most actors don't have like that royalty thing to it, where they're gonna make that money. And if they're dead, especially like I like Ender's Game. Do I like the
but
author? No,
you've
but
expressed yourself. For example, you expressed yourself that you would not play Hogwarts Legacy right now, or at least pay full price for it
I won't
because of
buy it
J.K. Rowling.
new. I won't buy it new. That's correct. I will
Right,
wait until it's in a third party market.
right. But for that specific reason, though, right?
Well, to me, What I would love to see happen is I would love to see Warner Brothers just offer her one check and buy the whole likeness thing, like the whole rights thing. But also, I'm not a Harry Potter fan. Guys, ready? If you are a Harry Potter fan, you're about to hate me. I hate Voldemort as a villain. I think he's useless.
Oh, I agree.
Like, you couldn't kill a baby? Come on, man. Like,
I
oh
think
no,
Grindelwald's a better villain.
my magic didn't work. Oh no. Oh, good thing I have this pillow right here. Night, night, Harry. Like I was like, I just couldn't get into it. And also,
Well, no, you can't
wait,
say that because Voldemort destroyed himself at the first attempt.
Yeah, dumb. I was just like, this is dumb. Dumb, dumb, dumb. And then the other problem that I had is that it questioned my intelligence. Like, I know what the Philosopher's Stone is, even though I live in America. You didn't have to call it the Sorcerer's Stone. I got so pissed as I read that book, and it was like, yeah, it's the Sorcerer's Stone, and it turns lead to gold. I was like, no, that is the Philosopher's Stone. This is bullshit. And then I was out. I just couldn't get into it. And then I was assured that the books are better. They apparently don't have Harry Potter and the camping trip that doesn't end. But you know, that movie is just awful. But like, we've gone off tangent here. I think that there's an area of gray in the middle that's hard to find and hard to see, where it's you have to make a move and you have to appease the criticisms that you're receiving. And I think right now, Marvel, DC, Warner Brothers, Disney.
But like I said,
think
it's
that they're
not
doing
just a production company. It's the engine of Hollywood entirely.
I agree.
So, for
but
example,
like,
production companies won't fire you probably, but the agents and managers will. And without agents and managers, you can't get any other work. Hollywood's like...
But the thing is, like, with agents and managers, they're a little bit like lawyers. Like, there's always going to be one that can pick you up. So that's why the only thing that I think adds any value or steam, in my opinion, to the Jonathan Majors allegations, again, I don't know anything, but the fact that his publicist dropped him just seems, to me, that's like a big red flag. Like, the minute that happened, I was like, that is
you think something's more involved because they... So you don't think that they dropped him just to say, hey, we're not with him?
No, because that's the company. Those are the people that you hire to spin your problems. Like, that means that there's got to be something on the horizon that we don't see yet. At least, and again, that's my theory. Innocent until proven guilty. I hope that he is innocent, but I'm just saying, like, to me, that is a big red flag, because I don't even think Ezra's publicist dropped them. And that's saying something, because Ezra has done some crazy
that's why we're having a
shit.
conversation. That's why we're having a conversation, because I thought that was weird. I'm like, they're still pumping out The Flash, and I've seen in the past, movies get pulled weeks before release date, but The Flash is still moving on. I forgot. I thought about writing it down. I completely forgot. I forgot what the movie was, but there was a movie to where there was an allegation. I think it was an actor, and they pulled the entire movie weeks before release date.
It's not unheard of. Like but again, it comes down to like what the allegations were, how serious they were, and how the production company wants to handle it. Because like every company's going to handle it differently. Like Ezra and Jonathan have different publicists. They have different talent management agencies. They're not part of the same one. If they were part of the same one, then I could say, yeah, there's a bias in how they're being handled. But to me, I don't see a media bias one way or the other, because it's different. Like, the variables are different. Were it that they were like identical things, like Ezra is accused of, the same stuff, and they both had the same publicist, and they were both with the same production company, then I would be able to like make the assessment of like, oh yeah, they're for sure being treated differently. But right now, to me, they're both being treated very similarly, which is we don't want to completely pull the plug on them, but we don't want to support them either, just in case. And I think that that's a weird gray area to be in, but in all honesty, like, that's where most of these companies are going to have to be until there's a trial or until the allegations are dropped. Like, Jonathan's lawyer is very confident that those charges are going to be dismissed. And I'm hoping that they are, because I really like him as Kang. But if it's found out that he's, a bad person, then I think that he should be removed. If Ezra is found guilty on like all the stuff that they're accused of, then I think they should be removed. Like, it's just, to me, that is that is the solution. Unfortunately, if you do something really bad and you are found guilty for it, then you should be removed. And I get that they were having a mental health crisis, or at least that's what they're saying, and that they're getting help now. And I think that that's great. But again, unfortunately, there's typically a punishment that goes along with things, and that might just be the punishment. I mean, you and I saw it in real time. Lindsay Lohan and Amanda
Oh,
Bynes, they all had
yeah.
mental health crisis. Like,
Yep.
and it got handled differently. Like, at least Amanda Bynes doesn't have like the negative baggage of like being a poor coworker to go along with it. She, at least not that I've heard. But there's
Yeah,
so
I don't
many
think I
like
heard that either.
weird, yeah, like, but with Lindsay Lohan, like, you and I have both like heard those stories. Like, her coworkers were
Yeah.
both like super unprofessional, always
Right.
late, showed up drunk, that kind of stuff. Like, so there's a difference of professionalism there that makes, I mean, it can make or break a scenario. But again, you and I have seen so much Hollywood drama in our lifetime. Like, even Brendan Fraser, I feel so
Yep.
bad for that dude. That like that
Yep.
Batgirl got shelved is crazy to me, because like that had Keaton. So I think that what we'll get if this Flash movie succeeds is that Batgirl will get released. I think James Gunn will be like, "Nah, this is happening. This is happening." Boom. Because I don't get why you would shelve that one. Like, I get that they claimed it for insurance, but like,
Yep.
I feel like it would have done gangbusters putting it out there,
Oh, it would have been great.
especially if it got out there before the Flash. Because what everybody really wants to see is Keaton as Batman.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Like, just just make the fourth Keaton movie, you cowards. Do it. or
Yeah.
or do what was
That, like I
proposed all
said,
those or do what was proposed all those years ago. Batman Beyond with Michael Keaton. Do it.
as old man Bruce, I've
Yeah.
always said that, and I agree. But like
100%
that's what I'm saying
sold.
before. This whole thing, and guys, I really want to know your opinion about it too. Like I said, this whole thing to me, it seems like it's them trying to wash their hands. And like I said, I'm not talking about just the production companies. I'm talking about the whole Hollywood engine as a whole. They're trying to wash their hands of a situation before things get crazy, and they're like, "Well, you supported that guy." They're like, "No, no, we backed out before." Blah, blah. But I definitely want to know you guys' opinion about it. I really want to have a discussion with you about it. Do you think they're treating Jonathan Majors fairly? Do you think they're treating Ezra Miller fairly when it comes to the allegations? Because neither one of them have been charged with, like, officially.
Oh,
Uh,
I do think that Ezra has been charged. I think they have formal
okay.
charges against them, but I could be wrong. Again, we don't pay a lot of attention to that until it comes into like super highlight, like trial and court
Yeah.
cases. But
We
I
don't.
do think they have been charged, but Jonathan Majors has
Jonathan
not
has
been
not.
charged yet.
Yeah, Jonathan has not. But if you guys think that what Hollywood does is correct, let me know. Let us know in the comments. Like I said, we would definitely want to have a conversation with you about it. While you're down there, there's a like and subscribe button there for you, notification bell. But I guess that's, unless you got anything else, Joe, I guess that's it.
Nah, have a great one, guys. Thanks for joining. Hope you hung out. If you did make it until the end, put code word pumpkin in the bottom. I don't know. That's all I got. No, yeah, wait. Do put a lightning bolt emoji in the comment section if you made it till the end. Make it happen.
Peace.